This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, all. Welcome back. So today we are going to start services. So which are like, first we'll start EC2. So which is in EC2 we can create servers. Okay, in AWS we'll call it as server. We'll call it as EC2 as a server. Okay, so here as a DevOps engineer, so our responsibility is to create infrastructure. Okay, so we need to create infrastructure. So infrastructure means servers, storage, network. Okay, and we need to maintain the infrastructure, right? So let us start EC2 today. It's a Elastic Compute Cloud. Fine. So able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
Fine. Yeah. So basically, what is EC2? What is Elastic Compute Cloud? Right. So Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud is a virtual server in AWS that provides secure compute capacity in cloud, which are like compute capacity means so processing. Okay, so processors, memory, storage. Okay, so it will provide secure compute capacity. Okay, fine. So here we have EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud. So basically, what is Elastic in general? What is Elastic?
Expandable.
Yeah, it's expandable, right? So it says stretchable. Elastic means expandable, stretchable. So compute means, what is compute? For example, if you want to buy a laptop, okay, you can go to shop and you will check some memory, RAM, what is the RAM size, what is the hard drive, what is the processing, right? So these are all we'll check first. Okay, that is nothing but that is configuration, right? So compute means configuration, right? So this configuration is elastic. So this configuration is elastic. So this configuration is available in cloud. Okay, so the EC2 meaning is like, so it is a whatever resources are we are using, those are elastic. Okay, so those are available in cloud. Fine. So let us go to console here. Hope everyone created an account, right? AWS account. Any challenges still? Anyone having any issues to create account?
Nope.
So let us go to console here. aws.amazon.com. Sign into the console. Okay. So if you want to create EC2 instance, okay, first we need to go to services. So go to services This is our compute. These are the compute resources. So this is EC2, Elastic Cloud Compute. Okay. So before creating EC2 instance, we need to decide where you want to create, in which data center we want to create the instance. Okay. So which data center? By default, it is selected Ohio, US East 2 region. Okay. This is US East 2 data center. Okay. So this will be decided by client. We don't decide this. So this is client deciding factors. Okay. So when you want to create any, so when you get any requirement in real projects, okay, client will give you all the information. So where you need to create the resources, like in the Europe region or Americas region or APAC region. So where you need to create, those information will be provided by client only. Okay, so we don't decide this. Fine. So by default here it is selected Ohio US East 2 region. So I'm selecting this one only. Okay, so inside of this, in this data center, I want to create instance. Okay, so select services here. So these are the recently visited services. Okay, services, click on EC2. Okay, click on running instances. So here we can launch instance. Okay, so here in my console, already having some servers. Okay, these are the Jenkins servers, Jenkins different batches. Okay, and Nexus server also available here. So these are the already stopped servers. Stopped means shut down. Okay, if you complete your practice, we need to stop the server. Okay, you need to select this server and go to instance state, stop here. If you want to start, you can start. If you want to terminate, you can terminate this. Terminate means delete. Okay, fine. So now I want to create new instance here. So once you click on, I'll show you again. Go to services, EC2, running instances. Okay, click on launch instance. Right. So this is my so images dashboard. So these are the predefined images. We can call it as AMIs. AMI means it is a Amazon Mission image. Okay. So these are the predefined images available inside of my console. So image means it is a master copy. So for example, I want to create one Amazon Linux server. Okay. So I can use this image to create. So I want to create some Red Hat Enterprise Linux mission. So I can use this image. Okay. So here we have different images, Ubuntu image, Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base. Okay. And we have different flavors available. So 2012, 2016 base. Okay. So different AMIs available here. So whatever mission you want to create, you can select that. Okay. So these are the predefined images available inside of our console. So nearly 44 AMIs available. Okay, nearly 44 AMIs available. So these are the predefined AMIs. Okay, so if you want to create this AMI mission, so with this image, you will get all these packages, whatever package is available here. So in this, you will get all these packages. Okay, so and one more thing. So here, all the flavors are available. So one flavor is not available, which is CentOS. CentOS is not available here. So if you are unable to find any flavor here instead of the quick start, okay. So we need to go to where we need to go. Yeah, correct. So in quick start, if you are unable to find the required AMI, so we need to go to AWS Marketplace. So we need to go to Marketplace here. So click on AWS Marketplace and you can search here. So CentOS required. CentOS, enter. So these are the CentOS flavors, different flavors, CentOS 7, CentOS 6, CentOS 8, different flavors are available. Okay. So whatever flavor you required, that you can select here and you can create. Okay, so go back to quick start. Okay, so we are in quick start now. So here, one more thing, one more important thing here is, so when you want to select any mission, okay, any server. So in AWS, we don't call it as server, we'll call it as EC2 instance. Okay, so when you want to create any instance, okay, by the time, so you need to check whether it is free tier eligible or not. See here, it is showing Amazon Linux free tier eligible. Okay, so this is free tier eligible. Okay, so some servers are not free tier eligible. If you see here, so Windows servers, this is not free tier. Okay, this is also not free tier, right? So, and also here different servers are available, so those are not free tier. So even Amazon Linux different flavor also available here, which is not free tier. So Ubuntu 16.04 also not free tier. So whatever free tier available, free tier eligible is available, those servers we can use in our test labs. So otherwise bill will be generated. Okay, so make sure before creating your instance, you need to check this whether it is free tier eligible or not. Okay, fine.
In real time, what will create?
The real time we will select paid versions. Okay, free tier means it will give you the minimum configuration. Minimum configuration means 1 GB RAM, 1 virtual CPU. That is not enough for real projects, real consoles, real applications, right? So our test lab, it is fine, minimum configuration. But in real console, we required 8 GB RAM minimum or 4 GB RAM, right? 1 TB hard drive, like that. So this is, yeah, these are the missions for test lab, free tier eligible. So even free tier eligible, we can use in real production also, but we'll get very minimum configuration, minimal configuration. Okay. Yeah. Now
Understood.
I want to. Fine. So any questions, anyone here? Right. So I want to create this Amazon Linux 2 AMI mission. Okay. So click on select here. Click on select this. So once I select this, it is showing so different families in EC2 instances families. So here it is showing T2 family, T2 versions, T2 family, and T3 family, T3A family, and T3A different, T4G. Okay, these are the and C5, C4 different families available inside of our console. So also different types of missions available, different types of instances available here. So it is showing here T2 nano, T2 micro, T2 small, T2 large, T2 X large, different types of missions available here. So if you select T2 micro, so T2 micro only free tier eligible here. So if you select T2 micro, so it will, you will get 1 virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM. And if you go with T2 medium, you will get 2 virtual CPUs, 4 GB RAM. But here T2 medium is not free of cost. It is chargeable. You will get bill. If you select this, you will get bill. Okay. T2 large means 2 virtual CPUs, 8 GB RAM. T2 X large, 4 CPUs, 16 GB RAM. Like this. As per your requirement in your project, you can select like this. So this bill will be, yeah, paid by, so client only. This bill will go to client only, right? So as per the requirement, project requirement, we need to create the servers here, right? Fine. So now, so I want to select T2 micro. It is free tier eligible, right? 1 virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM. So with this T2 micro, I'm getting so EBS volumes, EBS elastic block storage. Okay, I'm getting one storage which is elastic block storage, which is very high performance storage. Okay, and network performance is low to moderate. And also I'm getting, so IP v4, it will support IP v6 also, IP address v6 version 6 also, it will support. Okay, so currently we are using IP v4, so it will support IP v6 also, right? So next, click on next here. Okay, next one is number of instances, how many instances you require. So if you want to create 10 instances, you can give 10. At a time, you can create 10 instances with the same configuration. Okay, so for now, we can create one instance only. Yeah. Next one is launch auto scaling group. So this is one service, different service. So we'll discuss later when we talk about auto scaling. We'll go deep dive. So while creating instance, we can enable auto scaling, right? So for now, we can create instance. How to create instance, we'll try to understand. Auto scaling, we'll see later. Okay, next one is purchasing option. What is this? So here it is showing request spot instances. Okay, so if you select this, it will show you some basic pricing. Okay, so these are the availability zones. Yesterday we discussed, right? What is availability zone? Availability zones are data centers, DR data centers, right? So these are the availability zones. Yeah. So purchasing option means, so it is still till now it is not useful in real time. So till now it is not useful. So because still we are in starting stage. Starting stage means, for example, this is cloud data center. This is AWS data center. Okay. So till now we are utilizing maximum 30 to 40% of the resources. 30 to 40% resources means servers, network, switches, routers, and storages. So till now we are utilizing 40% maximum resources only. Okay. So once we reach to 90%, so 90% means, for example, we have 1000 servers in AWS data center. Okay. So 90% means 900 servers. Once we reach to 900 servers, 90%, so this pricing will not be available. This is current basic pricing. They are showing something like $0.0035 per server cost. Okay. So once we reach to 90% of the utilization, okay, so this pricing will not be available. So by the time this pricing will be changed. So once we reach to 90%, so we will not get any free servers. We will not get any like free tier eligible, free storage, free network, not like that. So because once they establish, they will not give any free servers, free accounts, right? So this is all about Walla Uber concept. This is all about Walla Uber concept. So initially, Walla Uber cabs, when they launched their service, they used to give some offers, right? Walla Uber, so 30% off, 40% off, free trips, right? So the same way, AWS also doing business here, right? Initially, they are giving offers, free servers, free network, free storage, free account creation, right? So once they reach to their target, they will not give any free services. They will charge more, right? So it will take 2 to 3 years, reach to 90%. So it will take minimum 2 years. After 2 years, this free tier eligible will not be available. Okay, this free servers, free network, free accounts will not be available, right? Yeah. So this is till now this is not useful in real time. So maybe it will take 1 or 2 years. It will take. After that, this basic pricing will be changed. They are showing some basic pricing, but they are not charging anything. So after 2 years, it may change and it will be different price. So when you want to create any server, maybe it will they will charge something. So they will not give any free servers. Any questions here, anyone? This purchasing option, any questions? You understand, right?
If it is reached to 90%, then what will be charges? It is increased or decreased?
It will increase. Obviously, it will increase. So this is basic pricing. So it will increase because once they reach their target, definitely they will increase the pricing. So now, Ola, Uber cabs, what they are doing currently. So in peak hours, if you book the cab, what they are doing? They are charging double, right?
Yes.
So the same way, AWS also will do same thing. Once they reach their target, once they establish, they will charge more.
Okay. And which is the most commonly instance type used in the organizations? It's EC2 or it is something other?
You mean AWS platform or Azure platform or GCP or anything?
Amazon AWS platform, which is the most commonly instance type.
Yeah, EC2 means it is server name. So different flavors, different project teams use. Okay, like Ubuntu will use some project teams. Okay, EC2 Ubuntu servers. SUSE Linux servers use some servers, some project teams, and RHCL use some project teams. Different flavors use the as per the requirement. Okay, yeah. Next one is networking part. So this is a VPC. Which is virtual private cloud. Yesterday we discussed, right? VPC. So this is completely networking part. We'll discuss after 4 sessions. Okay. So network, subnet, auto assign public IP, placement group, capacity reservation. This all will be covered in networking. Okay. So we'll discuss later. Next one is IAM role. It is a identity and access management. It is all about user management. Okay. So this is also one service. We'll discuss later. Okay. Next one is shutdown behavior. Shutdown behavior means, so normally when you want to create any server, so you need to select stop state only. By default, we need to select stop state only. So if you select terminate, what will happen? So when you stop your instance, so automatically it will be terminated. Terminate means delete. Okay, your mission will be terminated. So, but why they gave this terminate option? Why cloud AWS is given this option, terminate option? So normally in real projects, what we will do, sometimes we will give some KT sessions, some trainings, right? So I also give some training sometimes for our team. I give Kubernetes training, okay, and Terraform training I'll provide sometimes. So my directors will force me to give some trainings. By the time, what we will do, we'll create some test lab in our environment. For that one day, we create test lab and we give to all the team members. And while discussing this, they parallelly create the instances. Okay. So once complete the session, so it may 2 hours or 3 hours session. So once complete the session, so by default, what we will do, we'll select this terminate option. So once complete the session, what they will do, they will shut down the mission. They will stop the mission. By the time, what will happen? Automatically, the instance will be terminated. So we no need to manually terminate. So for the uses, for that same uses, so we get this option here, terminate. So if you select terminate and create the instance, when you stop the server, automatically it will be terminated. So that is why real project, like real production servers, we should not select this terminate option. We need to select stop state only. So this is the default one. We need to select stop state. Okay. And next one is Hibernate and enable termination protection. We'll see later. Okay. So when we talk about VPC networking. So next one is monitoring. So monitoring is our server monitoring, infrastructure monitoring. So here we have CloudWatch. CloudWatch is the service which will monitor our infrastructure servers. So server is, for example, server is shutdown state or stop state or terminated or hung state. So it will monitor and it will send you alerts to our group. Okay. So completely it will monitor. So in this CloudWatch will create some metrics. So based on the metrics, it will work. For example, CPU utilization is high, so it will send one notification. For example, hard drive is full, it will send one more notification. Or else server is rebooting frequently, it will send one more notification. So like that, so CloudWatch will monitor your infrastructure and it will send notifications. Okay, so but this is not free of cost, this is additional charges apply. So when you enable CloudWatch, so additional charges apply. Okay, don't select this. Okay, and next one is tenancy. What is tenancy? So tenancy is nothing but it is a dedicated space. So in tenancy we have three options here. So if you click on this, shared, dedicated and dedicated host, three options are there. So by default we select shared. So shared, dedicated host, what is this? So we'll try to understand here. For example, this is our cloud data center, AWS data center, right? So when you enable tenancy, what will happen? So normally when we create an instance, this is a data center, cloud data center. So this is a shared area. So when you create an instance, we'll create the instance in shared area. So this is data center. For example, this is one room. In this we have some racks, different server racks. So when we create instance, so it can be created any place, anywhere. So yeah, we have different racks. Any rack we can create. This is shared one, right? So when you select dedicated one, so here we have shared one, right? Shared means when we create instance, it can be create any racks, any server, any place. So whenever you select dedicated one, what will happen? So you will get some dedicated space here. Instead of your data center, cloud data center, you will get some dedicated space. This is dedicated space for you. Okay. So data center under, again, one more small room. So for example, so we'll call it as ODCs, right? In our real projects, we'll call it as ODCs. ODCs means other data center, right? So we are handling one project, which is a Singapore project, DBS project. So DBS is a banking domain, right? So the DBS people ask us to provide dedicated space because they use some critical applications, banking application, banking data, right? So cloud is all about secure. Again, they asked us to provide tenancy, dedicated space. So because when we provide that, it will be very secure, one more layer. It is high secure. So this dedicated space only access is available with that team, that particular project team only. Others will not enter into this location, like in this shell. Okay, so we have local data center in Hyderabad. Okay, in our organization we have local data center. So in local data center, so we have different ODCs available in local data center. We have different ODCs. So we are handling another project, which is Euro project, one Euro project, CNA project. We are handling one CNA project. Okay, so for that CNA, they asked us to provide separate space in the data center, local data center. So for the same project, what we did here, so in the data center we created one more room inside of this, and we have installed the servers inside of this room. So whenever they want to, like for example, this is data center. Inside of the data center we have separate room. So this room will be having some dedicated security. Others will not be enter into this room. So normally in data center, what admins will enter, data center admins, network engineers will enter, and electricity, gas, AC maintenance, they will enter into the data center. Okay, so when we create tenancy here inside of the data center, this is only for that particular project. So the particular project people only can enter into this room. Okay, for example, any server issue is there, so they will raise a case, and when we are trying to move to that room, so we'll not have any access. By the time they will escort to move that room, then we can resolve the issue and we can come out from there. That level of security they will maintain for this dedicated space. Okay.
Ram, I have a question.
Yeah.
So in case of redundancy, I mean, how this operates? For example, yesterday you shown that if any disaster happened, then the servers get synchronized, like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. But here, if they assign a dedicated servers, then in case something happens, I mean, how it works then?
You mean local data center or cloud servers?
No, cloud servers. Let's say now we assign that dedicated server. We select dedicated server.
Okay.
So it will assign one dedicated server in particular data center. But something happens, then how that disaster management they plan then? Because it's a dedicated.
Fine. So dedicated one also will have some replication mechanism. From one availability zone to other availability zone, replication will be happened. Okay. So yesterday we discussed, right? So inside of the region, we have availability zones. So availability zones are DR data centers, disaster recovery data centers. So from one availability zone to other availability zone, replication will be happened. So for example, this data center is this is Hyderabad availability zone, for example. Okay. So in this Hyderabad availability zone, we have dedicated space. This will be replicated to other availability zone. This Hyderabad availability zone will replicate to nearby edge location, means Bangalore availability zone or Chennai availability zone.
Yeah, understood.
The data will be, yeah. Fine. So this is
got it.
Yeah. So here we have dedicated one. Dedicated one means we have different space in our data center. Also, one more option is there, which is dedicated host. So again, dedicated host also available. So inside of the data center, we'll have dedicated host. Inside of the host, we can create our instances. Okay. So for example, tenancy means simply we can say like, so we'll have some municipal water taps normally in streets, right? In streets, GHMC people, these people will install municipal water taps, right? So when they install municipal water tap in street, everyone can access. So when they install inside of your home, that is dedicated for you only, right? That is nothing but tenancy here. You can understand like that. Clear? Any questions here?
Nope, got it.
Yeah, fine. So this is tenancy. Next one is elastic inference. What is this? So this is for machine learning projects. Okay, so normally when we work on machine learning projects, we need to enable this. So when you enable this, what will happen? So performance will be increased for the machine learning project servers. Okay, this is for machine learning projects. So this tenancy also additional charges apply. So elastic inference also additional charges apply. Okay. So credit specifications and file systems we'll discuss later when we talk about these concepts. Okay. Yeah. Next one is we can go to next here. Click on next. Storage part. Yeah. So here we have storage. So volume type root available here and device type /dev/xvda. This is the storage device. Okay. And snapshot is enabled here. If you want to enable, you can enable snapshot. And if you want to disable, you can disable. And the size of the storage. By default, AWS is giving 8 GB of the storage. If you want to increase to 100 GB, you can increase like this. Okay.
Ram, what is snapshot?
Yeah, snapshot is it is a point in time. So for example, if you want to take, for example, normally in real projects, what will happen? So while working on any deployments, developers they request us to take snapshot. Snapshot is it is a replica, one snap. Okay. So while working on deployments, they request us to take snapshot. So if any deployment is failed, any application is corrupted, so what they will do, they will ask us to revert the snapshot. So once we revert the snapshot, what will happen? the VM which they are working on, that will be revert and it will back to original state. Clear? So when we work on snapshots, I elaborate more. Okay. Snapshot is nothing but it is a replica, one snap. Okay.
I mean, it will create same configuration. Correct, sir?
Exactly. Correct. Yeah. Size is here. We can increase to 100 GB, 200 GB, whatever size you want to create, you can create. Okay. So it is by default they are giving 8 GB. We can give 8 GB only. So volume type here it is showing general purpose SSD GP2. What is SSD? In our laptop also we are using SSD drives, right?
Solid state, right?
What is it? Solid state drives.
Should-
Solid state drives. These are high performance drives, storage drives. Okay. So here we have different storage types available. General purpose SSD, GP2, general purpose SSD, GP3, like this. Different storage available. By default, they are giving first one, general purpose SSD, GP2. You can select this. And next one is IOPS. IOPS, they are providing 100 by 3000. So IOPS means, can you mute yourself? Some background noise is coming here. Ramana. Yeah. Fine. IOPS means it is a input output per second. So our hard drive speed, okay, whatever hard drive we assign to our server here, okay, so that hard drive speed, IOPS means input output per second. So the speed is 100 by 3000, right? So next one is the delete on termination. What is this? So this should be disabled, okay? This check mark should be removed in production environment. So if you select this check mark, what will happen? So whenever you terminate your server, okay, along with your server, this storage also will be terminated. Terminate means delete, right? For example, one project team is what we created one instance and hand over to project team. So they worked on the project, they completed their project. So once complete the project, they inform us to terminate the server. So why they inform us to terminate the server? So once they complete the project, so they want to stop the billing. So they keep as is, they will get the bill, right, for the server. So they inform us to terminate the server. So by the time, if you check this option, if you terminate your server, okay, storage also will be terminated. So project teams, what they will do, they will ask us to terminate the server, but they will inform us like, so please terminate the server, but we require data, whatever data is available inside of the storage. So that is why when you create the server, we need to uncheck this. If you check this, when you terminate your server, storage also will be terminated. So we need to be very careful while working on production environment. So we need to uncheck this. Okay. And also encryption. If you want to encrypt your storage, you can enable encryption option here. Okay, this is the encryption. These are the encryption available. You can select encryption. Right?
Hello.
Next. Yeah, go ahead.
What are the different types of volume? Suppose I select here GP3, then what will be happen? The performance will increase or decrease. What is the difference between GP3 and GP2 or different types of volume type?
Yeah, GP2 means general purpose 2, GP3 means general. This is a bit high performance actually. So if you go with this, it will be speed will be increased. Okay, GP2 is less speed, GP3 is high speed.
Is it free of cost or Amazon will charge us for this?
Yeah. So whatever they are providing default one we need to take. Otherwise, it will be charged. So default one, whatever they are providing, that we need to use free of cost. Otherwise, it would be charged. Okay, if you select other one, it will be generated bill. Right? Yeah. For now, I'm selecting delete and termination. So click on next here. Add tags. So click on add tags, tag name. I can give some name here web server. So this is for our understanding. Okay. So this is not mandatory. Whatever naming convention you have in your project, that naming convention we need to give here. So I'm giving web server. Okay. Yeah. So next one is click on configure security group. Okay. So this is very, very important, security group. Okay. So it is showing create new security group or else select existing security group. Basically, what is security group? Security group and what is security group? Anyone having idea? Any admins available in our? Any admins are there in our session, so they will understand what is security group. Security group is nothing but it is a firewall. It is a firewall. What is firewall? Firewall is a network security device that maintains inbound and outbound traffic. Okay, so it will allow traffic, it will deny traffic based on the security group. Okay, fine. So now, so I can select existing one. I have different security groups here. Okay, these are the security groups. Okay, also you can create new one. For now, we can create new one. Select create new security group. So here it is showing SSH. So if you want to connect Linux mission, how can we connect? If you want to connect through SSH authentication, right?
Yes, sir.
Through SSH authentication only we can connect. So for SSH authentication, the protocol is TCP. Default port number is 22, right? So if you open PuTTY session here, let me close this first. So if you open PuTTY session, by default it will show you port number 22. So if you want to connect any Linux server, will connect through PuTTY session only, right? So default port number it will show you 22 only. Here you can give IP address and select authentication, open, then you will be able to connect your mission, right? So this port should be open for SSH authentication. If you disable this port, will not able to connect your Linux mission. It will not allow you to connect your mission. Okay. And next one is source. It is asking source. So click on this. So it will ask. It is asking custom. Custom means your custom IP. You can access your server. So anywhere, if you select anywhere, from anywhere you can connect your EC2 instance. So my IP means it is dedicated IP. So from dedicated IP, you can connect your mission. So for now, we can give anywhere. So anywhere means it will allow you to connect from anywhere. Okay. So here you can give security group name. Something you can give like this. Okay, so here same copy and description also can give same. Right. Next, click on this review and launch. Okay, we give this TCP22 anywhere. Okay, so click on review and launch. Okay, can we review this configuration, whatever configuration you gave? SSH TCP port 22 selected. So instance details we gave. These are the details. One instance and the default VPC selected here. Okay, next one is the storage. We selected 8 GB and tags we give web server. Okay, we can review the configuration and we can go ahead and create. Can launch instance here. Click on launch instance. So now it is asking key pair. Okay, so key pair is nothing but it is a dedicated key. One key will be available for every server will have one key. Using that key only you can connect our instance. So if you lost this key, we cannot connect our instance. Okay, so that is why this keys will be saved in different places in real projects. Okay, so this key, so we need to choose the existing key here, or else we can create new key pair, or else we can proceed without any key pair. So in real projects, we don't use this third option, proceed without key pair. So normally we create new key pair. Okay, so click on this, and a key pair name we can give some name, the same name I can give, ATM DevOps batch. Okay, and I want to download this key pair into my local. Click on this download key pair. Key pair already exists. Okay, this name is already exist in my, so I need to give different name. Okay, so I'm adding one here. So download key pair, click on this. So this key is very, very important. Okay, so I download key pair. Now what I will do, I launch instance. So click on launch instance. Failed. Why it is saying failed? Security group already exists. Okay, we already have this security group, same group. That is why it is not allowing to create. We need to change the security group, because so I have so many security group right inside of my console. So we need to change the security group. Go back here. Security group also we can give one. Name we can give one. Okay. Go review and launch instance. So key pair, you can create new key pair. You can give the name. So we already downloaded key pair here. So or else what we will do, key pair, you can download again. I'm giving 2. Download key pair. Launch instance. Click on launch instance. The required configuration is currently not big. Please use. Okay, I do one thing. I go back once. So these key pairs I delete first. Whatever key pairs we downloaded, we don't require this because we got some error, right? So I go back and create quickly. So running instance, launch instance. Okay, so quick start, select. So creating instance is very simple, but we gone through all the options, right? That is why it is taken time. So next, configure instance. Okay, one instance. You can select default options here. No need to select anything. Okay, so add storage, 8 GB only. Add tags, name, tag name, web server, configure security group. So you can select new security group. So here you can give name, security group name, same name I'm giving. Okay, and review and launch. So here custom, don't select custom, give anywhere. Review and launch. Now can launch the instance. Now it is asking you to select key pair. I'm selecting new key pair. Key pair name you can give same key pair name. Download key pair here. Two or 3.
Make it 3, sir.
Yeah. Download key pair. Now launch instance. Click on this. Security group also already exists. So I have so many security groups. That is why it is saying like is available already. Launch instance. Now it is launching. So because the names, whatever name we are giving, that should be unique name. If you already having security group or if you have already key pair name, same key pair name, it will not allow you to create instance. It will give you some warnings. Okay. So click on this. Yeah, this is our instance, it is launching now. It is in pending state. It is launching now. Web server. Okay, now it is in a running state. Okay, so now here we have public IP, private IP. So every mission, every cloud server will have one public IP and one private IP. So to connect our server, we use public IP. So once we connect the server, so we use private IP. Okay, and yeah, these are the VPC details, default VPC, subnet, default subnet created here. So this is AMI we created. Okay, so this is key pair which we given here. Okay, so DevOps batch 5, ATM DevOps batch 5. Okay, we created this server in Ohio, US East 2. Fine. Yeah, so this is how we can create instance. Next one is, so these servers we create again and again. Don't confuse. Okay, we'll create so many servers, so many instances. Every day we'll create instances. First time we'll have some confusion. Don't confuse. So every day we'll create so many instances. For every tool, we use different instances. Okay. Yeah. So next one is key pair. So we downloaded on key pair, right? So click on this key pair. This is our key pair. So ATM DevOps batch 5. Key pair name is, this is ATM DevOps batch. So this is the key which we downloaded, right? So this much of key, anyone can hack this key? Is it possible to hack anyone?
No.
No, right? So this level of security will be provided by AWS. Okay. So since 6 years we are using AWS platform in our project. So till now we haven't faced any single security issue, single small issue we haven't faced, because so AWS is providing very good security. So even though Azure, GCP also, they are providing very good security. Okay, so it is very secure, which we are using resources in AWS. Okay, they are providing different security layers. Okay, yeah. So this file is which we downloaded, which is .pem file. So here, if you click on this, so this is the key pair which we downloaded from the console, which is .pem format. Okay, so .pem file means, so normally what will happen? So this file, using this file, we cannot connect our mission in the PuTTY. So if you want to connect mission server, we need to open PuTTY session and we need to give the public IP here and we can connect, right? So this .pem format, PuTTY will not understand. So that is why we need to convert this into PPK format, PuTTY private key. So that we will discuss tomorrow. There will be some process, small process. So we need to convert into PPK file and we need to connect the server. So how to connect the server, how to deploy applications inside of the server, Linux mission. So we'll understand tomorrow. And also we'll create one more instance tomorrow, which is Windows mission. Windows also we can create tomorrow. How to connect Windows instance, we'll try to understand tomorrow. Okay. So we created one instance, right? This instance will connect tomorrow. How to connect tomorrow? So I'll show you tomorrow. Okay. So one more time we can create tomorrow and we'll connect tomorrow and we'll deploy some applications inside of this. Okay. Any questions up to here, anyone?
So after creating, you need to stop the instance or
Yeah. So once we create this instance, so if you keep as it is, you will get some bill. Okay. So that is why. So we need to stop this instance. Select this instance, go to instance state, click on stop instance. So once you click on this, it will ask you stop. Instance will be stopped. See here, it is stopping.
Sir, is there any limit for creating free instances, or we can create n number of free instance?
Yeah, so we have some limitation. Okay, some 750 hours we have. So while creating an account, it will show you 750 hours free of cost. Storage would be 30 GB free. 30 GB free. So and 750 hours of instance hours would be free. Okay, only T2 micro. So if you select T2 nano, T2 large, it would be pricing. Okay, so now this instance is stopped state. So if you want to terminate this, you can select this and go ahead and terminate instance. Okay, so for now we can terminate this. Tomorrow we'll create quickly one more instance and we'll connect that instance. Okay, I select this terminate instance. I'm terminating this. Okay, fine. So we stop here for today. So if you are not created account, AWS account, you can create today itself. So tomorrow, from tomorrow we will go a bit faster. Okay, so again we'll create one more instance tomorrow, Linux instance, and we connect that instance, how to convert that PAM file into PPK file. I'll show you, and also we'll create one more instance which is Windows Server, how to connect Windows Server, how to deploy application, how to expand the storage in Windows Server. So different things will work tomorrow. We'll work on the different activities. Okay, so you can create account today itself, and you can create one instance today. You can
Alexa,
practice this.
stop.
Sorry, can you come again? Yeah, fine.
Sir, showing terminate status, right? Automatically delete, sir, instant or?
Yeah, it will be deleted automatically. It will be, yeah. So after 10 minutes, it will be gone from here. It is terminated, deleted. So after 10 minutes, it will be gone from here. It will not be available.
Okay, and can we recover just in case, like if you want to recover that instant or any data file like files?
Yes, in real time, we'll have some backup mechanism. Using that backup mechanism, we can recover the VMs. So in our session also, we have one backup service. So we'll discuss that.
There is a billable rate, sir, for recovery backups.
Backup recovery also they are giving free of cost. Service is free of cost. So if you utilize beyond the limits, only you will get the bill. Okay, for few servers they are giving backup recovery free of cost. So if you use different servers, different limitations, you'll get some bill. Fine. So we stop here for today. Any more questions, anyone?
So it's 750 hours of instance running, which is in the free tier account, right, sir?
Correct. Yeah. 7
Okay.
hours free. Yeah.
Okay, 1 year, sir, 1 month, sir.
1 year, 1 year. So AWS is giving 1 year. So GCP, they are providing 3 months, Google Cloud Platform. Azure will provide only 1 month. Every month, 1 month it will be completed, retail. Okay, yeah. You can practice this, how to create instance. And if you are not created account, you can create today itself. Okay, fine. You can stop here for today. Thank you all.
Okay.